Hey friends, and welcome back to Therapy for Everybody. I'm Amber, a licensed clinical social worker and practicing therapist working out of the state of California. Here at Therapy for Everybody, I provide a space where we can explore real practical tools for emotional health and wellness that are grounded in evidence and that actually work. I bring them to you with clarity and confidence in my work, knowing that they have helped many people before. Whether you're in therapy, considering it, or just trying to work on your growth, you're in the right place. Before we get into it, let me give you a little background. This framework was developed by Abraham Maslow, a humanistic psychologist of the mid-20th century. Unlike traditional psychologists of the time, which focused mostly on pathology and what was wrong with the person, Maslow was really more focused on what helped people thrive. He believed that every human has the potential for growth, creativity, and purpose, but only if our basic needs are met first. That's what the hierarchy of needs is all about. So Maslow's model is a 5-tier pyramid that helps explain how human motivation works. Not just about big goals, it's the conditions that humans need in order to thrive. Let's walk through the levels together and I'll show you how it applies in real life. At the very base of the pyramid are our survival needs, things like food, water, sleep, warmth, and physical rest. When these needs are unmet, your brain's job is to prioritize survival, not self-growth. So you might skip your journal prompt or forget to return a text, not because you're lazy, but because your brain is trying to keep you safe. So I once had a client that I was working with in a group setting. We were going through this worksheet together, exploring how we've met these needs in the past, how we'll meet them in the future. And what do you know? We discovered that every night he was going to bed with his TV on and would watch TV for several hours before he fell asleep. The quality of his sleep was suffering, and he didn't really realize it until we were exploring why was he not, reaching that self-actualization, that level of creativity that he wanted. And it had to do with the fact that he was accidentally depriving himself of sleep. Once he made a big decision, but made the decision to move his TV into the living room, he fixed this problem, and he was able to then focus on getting quality sleep and engaging in more meaningful ways with the people in his life. So level 2 is safety needs. So things like predictability, protection, emotional safety, and stability. So this isn't just about avoiding danger. It's about having the resources and the structure that you need to feel secure. So if you're worried about paying your rent, or your nervous system is constantly on high alert because of trauma, it's going to be really hard to focus on your dream board or your vision journal. So this is where budgeting, stable routines, and community resources can come in. Small steps like having a consistent time that you wake up and a consistent time that you go to sleep can do wonders for your emotional health. So the next level, level 3, is love and belonging. We need each other. That's not weakness, that's just biology. So as humans, we're wired for connection. Friendships, family, support, intimacy. When this layer is missing, we often end up feeling isolated, disconnected, or even depressed because our systems assume that we're vulnerable without the tribe, so we're trying to protect ourselves. This is why healing often happens in the context of relationships. It's why things like group therapy, mentorship, support groups, and even a good friend can change everything for you. The next level, level 4, is esteem needs. So that's things like pride, purpose, feeling respected, and respecting yourself. This is where you want to feel like you matter, like your voice is valid. Sometimes we've done a lot of emotional work, but we still feel stuck because we haven't addressed self-worth. That's why I bring things up in my sessions like values, self-compassion, boundaries, and assertive communication skills so we can start to work on building that esteem. It starts with you. starts today. And the last level, level 5, is self-actualization. It's becoming the most authentic version of yourself. This is where purpose lives, creativity, spirituality, legacy, and fulfillment. We don't reach this place in every moment of our lives, but the more that our needs are met, the easier it is for us to live in this space. When I work with clients, this is the zone where we ask, what lights you up? What do you want to feel like? What brings you joy? So if you want to reflect on where you are in the pyramid today, here's a simple prompt that you can use to reflect. Ask yourself, based on each level of the pyramid, how am I meeting this now? And what's one small thing I can do to help me meet this in the future? Examples for physiological needs: how much sleep am I getting? Am I getting 6 hours of sleep a night? If not, perhaps we try a 9:30 wind down window or turn off screens an hour earlier just to give your mind that rest that it craves. The second level of safety needs: perhaps you're facing financial stress and you feel hopeless. Perhaps this is the time to ask for support, to review your budget with someone that you trust, to seek guidance. Finances are hard, and so getting the support you need to feel like you have a plan to get back on track can be really helpful. The third, belonging. Looking at how have you been meeting this need lately? If you've been feeling isolated, maybe you text an old friend that you've been meaning to text. You don't even need to apologize. Just say, hey, I'm thinking about you, and see where that goes. For esteem needs, looking at maybe recently you see that you've been second guessing yourself a lot. Let's start with a daily self-start, self-talk, good check-in with yourself. So things like, I got this, I'm setting my goals, I'm working on them. Every step you take is a step in the right direction towards your goals. So building esteem is recognizing those things every single day. Give yourself credit. Even if you normally wouldn't give yourself credit, or if it seems silly or small, it's not. Every single step is the next step towards your future. And then for the last, for actualizing, perhaps there's something you've been meaning to do for a while. Something you used to love or something you've always wanted to try. Maybe you want to paint again. Maybe you decide that you want to create space for creativity in your life again. And maybe you bust out your old paint set and just see how that feels again. Remember how it felt when you just let yourself be creative and see how that feels. So here's a takeaway. If you're struggling to focus, stay motivated, or to feel connected, it doesn't mean that you're failing. It probably means that there's a need that is calling for your attention. So start at the bottom, build the foundation, and keep climbing. I'm Amber, and this is Therapy for Everybody. If this was helpful, drop a comment, share it, or subscribe. Somebody else might need a little compassion today, and that would be great. Thank you, and see you next time.